As time marches forward and autumn arrives, there comes a desire for a relaxing, laid-back movie experience. Long before the days of Dazed and Confused, everybody wants The Big Lebowski and Empire Records, but slightly after 1973's American Graffiti lies a hidden hangout comedy classic. Free-flowing dialogue, aimless young people, and relatable scenarios fill the running time of most hangout films, and this 1977 film is no different. Between the Lines, starring Jeff Goldblum, John Hurd, and a horde of fantastic performers, is the most underrated film in Joan Micklin Silver's deep catalog. With the help of a witty, relaxed script, relatable characters, and fantastic performances, Silver crafts a flawless ensemble comedy that was decades ahead of its time. Upon release, the film was lauded by critics and panned by audiences, but has found a niche in the world of film fanatics. Some have called Between the Lines Generation X's The Big Chill, and that description could not be more apt. What is Between the Lines? Between the Lines follows a massive, hugely varied, eccentric team at the Back Bay Main Line, a local Boston newspaper. The overarching plot that hangs above the ensemble like a dark cloud is the impending sale of their newspaper to a big corporation. The paper is composed of young upstarts who are infatuated with the counterculture and don't take kindly to change. However, change is on the horizon whether they like it or not, and their laid-back existence is about to be shattered. The threat of the newspaper's sale is relevant throughout every single scene, but the real thrill of the film is watching these characters fight, argue, flirt, and party until the sun comes up. The film largely follows relationship troubles and, in the process, becomes incredibly relatable to young viewers. The primary relationship is between Harry, the lead reporter, and Abby, the paper's artistic photographer. Their relationship serves as the emotional crux of the film and dictates the direction of every other character. Joan Micklin Silver proved with chilly scenes of winter and Crossing Delancey that she is a master at communicating relationship frustrations. While other films will fall into stereotypes, Silver manages to display the perils of codependency in a relationship, and the codependency of the two lead love interests is a microcosm of the entire team at the Back Bay Main Line. With the sale coming up, the entire team must reckon with change and realize that they've been reliant on each other from the start. A strong ensemble cast. With a wide ensemble of incredibly different characters, Between the Lines has something for everyone. Jeff Goldblum's Max Arloft is a womanizing music critic whose ego enters a room 10 minutes before he does. Whether he's smooth-talking or striking out, he always manages to charm the viewer with his ridiculous line delivery. It's a powerhouse performance by a young actor who would eventually become known for his confident character portrayals. Between the Lines doesn't serve as Goldblum's cinematic debut. That honor belongs to another underrated gem in 1974's Death Wish. While it isn't his debut, it's certainly his first knock at the door of true movie stardom. Rounding out the cast are other legends of the game: John Hurd, Lindsay Krause, Marilu Henner, and Bruno Kirby, among many more. For nearly every one of these stars, Between the Lines is their acting debut. Joan Micklin Silver places a level of trust in these young actors that is unlike anything else, and it prepped them for the future. Within 5 years of release, each member of this ensemble would go on to be the leading star of a brilliant film. A cult classic misunderstood. Given the film's release being only years prior to critically acclaimed films like The Big Chill and St. Elmo's Fire, one would expect Between the Lines to have rave reviews. Strangely, this isn't the case. The film is a cult classic in some comedy circles. Fans and critics continue to disagree on the film to this day, with critics loving it far more than audiences. While the film does share many similarities with hangout classics of the 80s decade, it also has some more polarizing bits that create a barrier to entry. The John Hughes' classics of the 80s and 90s are very much populist comedy, but this is something different. Between the Lines dabbles in the absurd and the surreal, as well as catering to young Gen X counterculture enthusiasts. Some critics have highlighted the film's and Joan Micklin Silver's proclivity for naturalistic, relatable, seamless dialogue. Countless people have mentioned how it lends to a romanticized view of the newspaper industry. As time has gone on and counterculture newspapers have fallen by the wayside, a new reading of the film has emerged as the dominant one. The common response to the film has turned to nostalgia, as journalists simply can't relate to the project anymore. Nowadays, Between the Lines serves as a time capsule of an industry that has drastically changed. The film still manages to be relatable, but in an entirely different way. Film School Rejects Matthew Monagale has powerful insight on the film, stating, with an all-star cast and some great comedic bits, enjoy watching Goldblum engage in a battle with a local performance artist at the Back Bay mainline headquarters. Between the Lines is a late addition to the already impressive canon of essential 1970s cinema. This further emphasizes just how important and integral the film was for the time, even if it wasn't as appreciated as it should have been.